Hey, what is up? We are live in the warehouse. I am just muting my computer and then getting on, and we're gonna let some people get in here. I haven't been on in a while. It's been like 2 weeks. Well, that's not true. It's been less than that, but it's been a while. I'm just getting everything set up for 2018. Some crazy stuff has happened the past few days. I'll get into that later in the video. But what I want to show you today is just 8 things that sell for more than $100 on eBay and Amazon. The things I bought from thrift stores. Let's see if we can go live. Hey, what's up, guys? I see your comments, but I'm opening up. Yeah, I want to get a better view. Where's the? There we go. What's up, dudes? Yusuf and Raymond. Hey, what's up? All right, I just a little quick update on what's going on. Over the past few days, I have been working a bunch. We prepped 300 VCRs, my brothers and I. I started a company called AardvarkLots.com, AARDVARK.com, lots.com. It's resale lots for resellers. I've got so much here in the warehouse that I want to share the wealth and spread it around, and so I'm selling manifested lots on that website. It's a Shopify site, pay with PayPal or credit card or whatever. And by manifested, I mean that it will say what's in the box you're buying. So it's like $250 or $150 for a box of clothes. Yeah, dude, and it's a good way to see how much money you're gonna make. If you want to invest a couple $100, $100 or $200 around there. It's free shipping on the clothing lots. I've got some VCRs over here. I'm gonna list on there as well. There are products that will sell on eBay for between $50 and $200 probably. And the way I'm pricing it is I'm going through and estimating what I think the buy it now price will be if you hold out for like a month or whatever. And then I'm selling it for 1/3 of the profit, and then with free shipping. So it ends up being about 20% on my end is what I'm getting off the total sale. And then the rest would go to the seller. That is for people who are not near thrift stores or don't have time to go to thrift stores or are looking to scale up their clothing. It's a good way to grow your business because oftentimes it's difficult to find the times in the day to go to like 18 thrift stores and find the best stuff. And so your profit margin is a little bit lower on lots from any site. It could be from bulk.com or Tech Liquidators or Blue Lots or whatever. But at the same time, the amount of time you're spending is so much lower that depending on how you value your time and how much you pay yourself, it could totally be worth it. That being said, I want to just say hi to everyone who's here. We've got a few more. Michael, S. Bolden, and PJ. Hey, what's up? This video is going to be 8 things that I have just right here that I picked up for cheap. I guess the most expensive item I have here costs $12, and they're all going to sell for more than $100. And so I will get into that right now. This is the first item right here. It's actually a few items. It's this is a Christmas edition Swedish Fish candy canes, and I bought them on clearance for like 90% off. It was like $10 for all of this. That's the most expensive thing down there. And when you look at this, you say, oh, who the hell's buying these? You bought them for $1/4. Who wants Christmas candy in March? But Christmas candy and any seasonal candy, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw about 8 months ago, I bought a truckload of Peeps, of Easter Peeps, on sale for pennies in the dollar. And those sell really good throughout the year. You have to make sure that it's not chocolate-based candy because you can't prime chocolate-based candy in the summer months, and so that could hurt your business seriously. But like candy canes don't melt, And when I bought these, the price was like $12.50 or $13 for a 12-pack, and my price on them was like I don't know what it was, like less than $1 per item for sure. And the sales rank was like 75,000. It'll probably scooch up to around 150 or 200,000. But the items don't expire for like 3 years, and I'll be making, you know, $5, $6, $7, $8 per case, and I think they're probably all going to sell in about 6 months. So I will miss long-term storage fees too, and that's one of the things you want to look into when you're doing liquidation lots. Is, okay, can I sell these things in 6 months? I know a lot of sellers want to sell things like immediately, but that isn't always the best, you know, profit margin. And so if you can figure out, you know, the sweet spot for your category, and for food items, about, you know, below 200K, below, you know, 300K, around there, is all going to sell in about 6 months in my experience. And so you're going to avoid long-term storage fees and maximize your profits. Second item is this right here. It's not Think Jerky, that's just the box. I'm not going to open it up because actually I just sold it. It's 5 pairs of Levi's jeans. They're the slim boot cut, $5.27. I picked them up on Dollar Jeans Day. I went to a bunch of thrift stores. It was Dollar Clothing Day, and I bought like everything. And what I've been doing is putting the clothing in lots on aardvarklots.com. But if it's like that, where it's like, okay, here's a cache of the same cut jeans. So Levi's is easy because they have the number on the back tag. But if it's like, you know, 8 pairs of American Eagle boot cut jeans, I just put them in a lot and sell them for, you know, about 60% of what an individual sale goes for. And so these particular jeans were going for about $25, $27 individually listed, and I put them up at like $107 for a lot of 5, and we settled on like $105 for them. It sold in like 5 days. It was a really, really quick sale. I did the same thing with some Hilfiger jeans, some Tommy Bahama shirts. When you can find the same product in the same size and they're all in good condition, I would always, always, always recommend putting them in a lot together, because you're going to save so much on shipping, especially for these items that weigh above 1 pound and are only going to like gross you between $20 and $35. You know, on a $25 sale, $7 shipping, saving, you know, in each item really, really, really adds up fast. Not to mention the amount of time and the, you know, the opportunity cost of keeping the inventory, and, you know, not being able to go out and source, or the time you're spending relisting or answering questions about these individual pairs of jeans. I really just can't imagine a scenario where selling them individually makes more sense, especially for like low, you know, mid-range items like that. The third item that will sell for over $100 is these. It's a vintage pair of indoor soccer shoes. They're like the Tango model, I believe. I haven't been able to date them exactly, but the general date is like late 70s, early 80s. And I've seen these pairs go for $140, and then I'm listing those on Etsy. I think they're going to sell for a lot more on Etsy. Etsy has a larger international customer base, where soccer, or, you know, football, as most of the world is going to be calling it, would pay a premium for these, especially in the winter months. You know, in the you know, not every country has winter, I guess, like we do in Michigan. It's so cold right now. It's been single digits and negative digits for 2 weeks now. So maybe they wouldn't be so keen to buy indoor soccer shoes. But I feel comfortable that I'll be able to get one. I'm going to list them at $150, and I think they'll sell by the middle of summer. They, you know, they're Adidas, they're a name brand. They're really, really desirable. They've got great color to them. They're bright red. The soles are in good condition. I bought these for $350 at a Goodwill. Really just a quality pair of footwear. I bought a few of these. You're looking right now and saying, okay, I know what that is. Why you have that here? That's a DVD VCR Combo player. And it kind of is. There's a little bit of a twist though. The DVD is a DVD recorder, right? Magnavox did this. Magnavox has a lot of DVD recorders. I actually have another one I'm going to show you next. But it's a regular VCR, and VCR stands for video cassette recorder, and so all VCRs record, but not all DVD players have the capability to record. And so when you see that DVD recorder, oftentimes thrift stores will price it the same as a DVD player or a DVD VCR combo, but they are worth a lot more. I mean, this unit right here, I'm gonna sell for probably $350. It's pretty dirty, but I'm gonna clean it up. It's, you know, been tested, it works fine. But Amazon Prime, it's definitely gonna go for more than 300 bucks, and it could even go for $500. You know, it's really just one of those things where, like, if you want this, they don't make them anymore. You know, they don't make combo players anymore, so the supply is severely limited. The model number is Magnavox ZV420MW8, in case you're curious about looking it up yourself. Always look for this. Always look for the little recorder button right here, and it'll say recorder on here as well. You're gonna make a bunch of money. There's just no way about it. Even for parts, the parts on this thing alone go for $100. Michael, you have one waiting for you. Oh, yeah, dude, congrats. So I mean, Toshiba's a better brand than Magnavox too. So you're probably gonna make a bunch of money off of that. Even if it's not a combo player, you're still gonna, you know, net $250. If it doesn't work, don't scrap it. Sell it on eBay for parts. Or if you're more technically inclined, which I am not, try to fix it yourself. I've been buying just a phenomenal amount of VCRs recently, and when our VCRs don't work, we're recycling them. But before we recycle them, we're taking out a lot of the important components, so like the cassette flap and the elastic belt beneath the VCR mechanism, whatever it is. And those belts sell for between $4 and $8, depending on the length of them, and the flaps sell for between $5 and $10. And the sales are slow, but it's $275 to ship, or $277 to ship, first class mail, and we're just gonna Amazon Prime them. But if you want to sell them on eBay, it's really it takes up a very little space, and it's almost like free money, because if you're recycling the VCR, they're not gonna check for the belt, they're just gonna weigh it, and they're gonna give you between, you know, $1 and $4 for the VCR. And so it's a good way to really double your profits on a broken unit. The next item is just a plain old DVD recorder. Again, Magnavox as well. Oftentimes they have a lot of red on them, and that red is just because it's got recording features. That one is going for, I think, $225. Amazon Prime. I might put it at $250. There's no other listings for it because, again, this is kind of dated technology. I believe these came from universities. So a little quick tip. If you live by a community college or university, they often do surplus sales. And those surplus sales are really great places to buy stuff like this, especially things that have sort of like a professional or industrial or academic application. They're not going to be conventional consumer goods, and so you're more apt to find some rare items. And again, with rarity, it's more difficult to find a buyer. I mean, you're going to sell 15 VCRs a day, and you might sell one of these every 2 weeks, but most likely your ROI is just going to be, leagues higher and higher. And if you like that, give this video a thumbs up too. If that was useful information to you about like where to find these VCRs, give it a thumbs up. The whole community college university tip, the more thumbs up, the more promotion my channel gets from YouTube, and that really helps me out a lot because I want to help as many people as I can make money. Which also reminds me, we started a Facebook group too. It is for the 0 to 10K challenge, where I challenge myself and others to take $0, so just things you have around the house or money you find, and turn that into $10,000. And I think Lauren is leading. He's a guy in the group. He's got resale. He's got I think around $1,200. I don't remember exactly. I kind of ran into some difficulties because I was doing mostly books, and it took me like 2 weeks to get my first book sale in. But now I'm up to like 150, and actually I'm down to 0 because I spent all my money buying VCRs. But these VCRs, they're all Sony, SLV 200s or whatever. They're good model numbers, and they're all gonna sell in a week. And so ideally, with the money I spent, I think I got 11 VCRs. I should be up around $1,000 profit. And that's, from that point, to make 10 grand out of $1,000 is really, really, really easy. It's just a matter of buying stuff, because I don't have to take the money out like pay rent. At that point, it's just, you know, the game's over. I'll post a link to that group below in the comments. It's a closed group, but anyone can join. It's free. It's free. The only rule is don't be negative. You know, don't point out problems. Only offer solutions. That's the biggest rule of the group, really, and it manifests in a few different ways. But I really can't stand people who complain. That's such a misuse of your time. You have a finite amount of hours in your life, and to use them complaining and bickering, doing things that will never ever possibly in any reality grant you progress or profit or anything substantial just blows my mind. And so I'm the admin for the group. No one else is gonna do that, and I'm making the rules. Quick question. So the 10K challenge will not be, no, it's on YouTube still. I'm still doing updates for it. It's just because my updates only happen infrequently, and because I'm not the only one doing it, I thought a Facebook group made more sense. And eventually my intention is to have that group, once, you know, I hit $10,000 or once someone else does or whatever, we're gonna transition into, like, you know, your first $1 million, right? And so we're gonna try and help people who are making their own businesses make $1 million. And I mean, the goal isn't to have $1 million, right? That's like kind of a very high goal. But the reason I'm putting it like that is because it's for people who don't have, you know, $1 million. It's for people who are building their empires, not for someone who already has one, or who inherited one, or who has a trust fund, or whatever it is. It's for the other kind of people who really want to work hard, and I think that's going to be a good place for our content to live. Who else is doing it? There's 140 people in the group right now, and we're all doing the challenge. It's really fun. I really suggest you check it out. It's 0 to 10K challenge, and then WBK is in parentheses. That's who I am. I'm Walter Blake Knoblock, so I put WBK as my name. And you can join, and I'll, you know, just say that you're from YouTube, and I'll let you in right away. There's 3 more things I want to show you, though, that will sell for over $100. And I'm gonna save the best for last because it's really a great item, and I bought it for $1, so I'm really proud of it. This is not it, though. This is just another Polo leather jacket. I've sold a few of these. This one's in better condition than my last one. There's no tears on it, really. It's you know, got this nice plaid lining. It's extra large, which is a good size. I feel like XL sells fastest for me. I think most people in the United States, most men are gonna wear an XL. Just because they're either bigger or fatter or whatever it is. You know, good condition. And this jacket in this condition, my other one was not so hot, and I think I sold it for $85. I ended up lowering my price considerably on it, but it had like a tear in the back. And this one should go for about $140, I would guess. I'll probably put it at $165 and then do a best offer as low as $140. Again, I paid $5 for it. Is that what I said? It's you know, the reason I get these things, though, you know, I don't have amazing thrift stores here. I just go out every day, or I have people go out for me every day. You know, I've got employees, and we go around to stores, and I give them buy lists, and I say, hey, if you see these brands and they're under this price, buy them no matter what. The thrift stores this time of year especially are going through so much inventory. It's so rapid. I mean, donations are off. Even I donate to thrift stores. You know, I donated 3,000 books to a Goodwill because I buy books in bulk. And these are books that were worth less than $5. And so it wasn't worth the time for me to sell them. And because books weigh so much, I couldn't sell them in bulk, and no one on Craigslist picked them up. So I said, okay, you know, donate them. And then I ended up getting like, what, 18 grand off my taxes or whatever it is. So like, or sorry, deduction off my income. That's a whole different video too. I had to learn about how donations work and all that kind of stuff. It's very confusing for me, at least. It's not as intuitive as you would imagine it is. But again, that's a different video, and you know, legally speaking, I'm not sure if I should even be giving advice like that. There's a lot of laws about it. 2 more items left that will sell for over $100. You know, guaranteed, basically. I mean, I guess, like I said, if that leather jacket was in worse condition, it wouldn't be $100. But if you can find a Polo leather jacket, or you know, a Michael Kors, or any solid brands, leather coats are always a good sale. Don't do auctions on those. Auctions on leather coats and leather items in general don't go very well for me. there's just not, the interesting thing about leather is there is not a huge market for it, but the people who like it understand it's how high quality it is. And so even though they're not really the most popular outerwear right now, you know, it isn't like, you know, quilted down or whatever, there are people out there who are still willing to pay what I would consider a premium for quality leather goods. And that's kind of evident in this next thing too. I picked up this jacket for $12, or no, $10. And it's a vintage Walter DeVucci. I think that's how you say it. It's a kind of a bomber jacket, but it's on the inside you can see it's got genuine shearing, made in Uruguay. Really just a quality leather jacket. There's no tears in the stitching anywhere. I mean, you can hardly tell it's been worn even. It's just like butter. Really, really, really nice. And I didn't know that brand before I bought it. I was at a thrift store and they had $10 leather jackets, and it had been picked over pretty good. This was the only thing I bought there, but I looked up the brands I wasn't familiar with. I'd never heard of Walter DeVucci before in my entire life. I'm not really into fashion. I just like selling things, and so whenever I find a new brand, I look it up and I put it into a mental repository. And now whenever I see Walter DeVucci again, I'll know, okay, if I can buy it for less than $10, probably that's a buy. And the cool thing about this jacket is that because it's vintage, there really is not an upper limit on what I can ask for it. There's no other competing deals. There are similar deals. There's similar brown leather Walter DeVucci jackets with the bomber shearing or whatever it's called, but not the same cut. And so when someone finds that and they really want it, I could sell it for $300 probably. New those jackets go for like $800 or $1,100. But again, it's vintage, so there's not really, you can't just look up comps like you can for a pair of Tommy Bahama jeans or whatever, right? It's much more about the listing quality and the pictures you take and how you sell the item. Again, this is more of an Etsy item for me. Whenever there's no comps, but I know it's valuable, that's when I go to Etsy. And so a lot of unique things, jewelry, a lot of like old t-shirts or hats go on Etsy. Etsy customers are great, they're more understanding. eBay is more where, as my business transitions, eBay is where I dump garbage that I can't, sell for a premium. Just because the customers are a lot more demanding, and that's fine for people, but I'm not a very pleasing guy. And so I'm not gonna go out of my way to, make your lot of your $15 pair of jeans or whatever, make that transaction the best. And so just personally, where I'm at in my business, I move towards, Amazon Prime and Etsy for like things that I actually have an emotional investment in. One more item, but Michael asked a quick question. He says, what about products like books and retail items that aren't on Amazon or eBay? Well, eBay, you can sell anything on eBay, as long as you're not breaking terms and conditions. So you can't sell like human parts, so you can't sell Nazi propaganda, or anything that is like ethnically pointed. I believe you also can't sell mystery boxes, despite everyone doing that recently. So even if it's not on eBay, you can still sell it there. If there are no comps, it's more tricky. Again, if it's a vintage or collectible item, you can still list it. I would recommend Etsy. If it's a book that there are no comps for on eBay, if it's an old book, I do Etsy. If it's a new textbook, then I do, it just has no comps for whatever reason, like only one school sells it. Like I went to a college that produced their own history textbooks because they were incredulous of the mass-produced ones. And so like an item like that, I would sell on eBay. But if it's like, I call it book porn, shelf porn, where it's like old books with like weird titles. I've got a whole bunch over, like, I guess even like this is a bad example. I just have one, within reach. An old crossword puzzle book from 1974. Like, I wouldn't say that's shelf porn because it isn't hardcover, but I'm gonna get it for you. Just hold on for 10 seconds. Okay, so these right here are an example. These are Zane Grey old novels. Zane Grey was a popular Western novelist, my grandfather's favorite actually. And as you can see, they're kind of dingy and old looking. And by themselves, I'd be able to get $7 to $15 per book. But if I sell them in a set, you know, of shelf porn basically, and I've got, they're not even first editions, they're just old, they're from the 60s. I'll be able to get around 100, 150 for probably 20 books. And it's media, so it'll ship relatively cheap. That's how I place books that don't have comps on eBay and Etsy and Amazon. It's more about, okay, I try to figure out why would someone buy this? And then I place it on a platform accordingly. You know, so like for like the DVD recorders, most likely you're going to only want that in an academic or industrial setting or a commercial setting. And time is very important in those. So, of course, Amazon Prime them. A lot of 5 Genes, for example, you're going to be someone who is very particular about what you want, and you're going to be researching keywords. And so, eBay. And then again, you know, stuff like this. You're going to want it because of the aesthetic, you know, because of what it represents to you, not because of what it's agreed upon. And when I say agreed upon, I mean like market value is. And those items go more to Etsy. And then Stress-Free Paper Chase just said, as busy as you are, thanks for going live. No problem, man. I love doing this. I love helping people make money. I just talked to my friend earlier today. We texted for maybe 2 hours about how he can monetize his podcast. He has a cool Detroit Tigers podcast called Castiliano Brothers, I believe what it's called. And we just talked. You know, there are a lot of people out there who are trying to sell you courses and you know, get your money for their help, which is fine. You know, everyone has to make money. But just for me, I really relish the opportunity to help someone go from $0 to $10,000 or $1 million, because that's just that giving someone that freedom or giving them the knowledge to obtain their own freedom is that's like my whole political ideology. Like my morality is based around that. And so I just really couldn't do otherwise. In the Facebook group, what I mentioned is eventually we're going to begin to charge money to get in there. So if you want to get in now, it's free now. I think when we hit 500 or 1,000 people, I'll begin to charge like $15 a year to be in the group. Something just small and just basically to avoid trolls and just negativity in general. But by the same token, if someone says they can't afford to be in the group, what kind of asshole would I be to say, oh, sorry, you can't make money then? Like, that's not how it works. You can't tell someone who has no money they have to give you money to make money. That's a logical paradox, you know. So it's, you know, it's gonna be free with an asterisk, I guess, right? Or it's gonna be $15 with an asterisk. But I never want to be a barrier to someone obtaining freedom. Like that's, if you think about it, that's pretty messed up if you would want to do that. The last item that I want to show you, that this one's gonna sell for you know, $300. I don't even, this is what it is. This item is so egregiously cool that I don't know what it's gonna sell for. I'm gonna list it at $500, and then I'll go down gradually, and I assume I'll get an offer probably, you know, 50 or $100 less than what my lowest price is, and I'll take it because I paid $3 for it. No, I paid $1 for it. I paid $1 for this item. You can see it right here. You can see it on the corner of the screen, and I hope you're excited because, like, I bought this a little while ago, and I'm still psyched about it. I sent a picture to my brother, and he Snapchatted the picture to all his friends. He's 18, so they're all into this stuff. But like, it's just such a cool find. It's like finding gold, you know, in a stream behind your backyard. Here it is right here. It's a large, size large, North Face, but it's you know, center pouch, vintage North Face, got the old logo, bright magenta, the hood's still on it. It's in mint condition. I mean, there's no stains. It's the reflective strips are still bright. It's such a high quality item. I haven't checked the zippers, I guess, but Oh yeah, I mean there's not even any like usually when you buy these coats, there's gonna be gunk in the pockets. There's nothing in this. I think it was in someone's closet for 25 years. This is definitely an early 90s North Face. It's like a heavy windbreaker. It's got a mesh interior, but on eBay, these are going for, you know, 200 bucks at least. But on Etsy, I've seen them sell for $500. This is the kind of thing that like someone in Australia might buy, right? And they're willing to spend a huge premium. It's even got the hood pouch. Oh my gosh. Yeah, embroidered on the back. It's really, really a rare item, the vented sides. If you see one of these, I'd pay 80 bucks for it at a thrift store. Just because it's worth so much. It's the right era, it's the right kind of product, it's the right brand. 1 second. So visually, this is pretty similar, right? This is a tracksuit. You know, same neon colors. It's you know, very 90s jogging tracksuit type deal. In terms of like material and aesthetic, they're very, very similar products. And even though this is a two-piece tracksuit, I'll probably get a quarter of what the North Face jacket's worth. And it's just one of those things. If you find the right brand, the right look, you're only limited by how fast you want to sell it, you know, to an extent. I mean, obviously you can't sell it for 20 grand, but you know, you could sell it tomorrow on eBay if you wanted to. You might have to make, you know, you might have to lower your price, but it's one of those things that will always, at least when I say always, I mean until trends change. Based on the current trends, it will sell so fast. I mean, if I put it up for $150 on eBay, I guarantee it'd sell in 20 hours, probably 12 hours. And that's it. That's 8 items. You know, DVD recorders, DVD VCR Combo DVD recorders, bulk lots of Christmas candy, some cool leather jackets, one a brand you're familiar with, one you're not, and then the North Face gear, on the jean lots as well. Those are just some great items that aren't too exotic. I mean, you're gonna see them if you go to thrift stores, but just that kind of good, that kind of clothing or item or whatever it is, that's what you want to look for, and you want to begin to see trends in resale. Okay, so like that North Face thing sells good. How about I buy this jogger jacket I just showed you, the turquoise one? By understanding that you know, popularity has kind of a, you know, the same way like ink dilutes water, a very, very popular brand is going to spread out into all sectors of clothing. And so if it looks like a North Face 90s jacket, if it looks like a Tommy Hilfiger bomber jacket or whatever, you can use that knowledge to buy lesser known brands and take them to Etsy, for example, where people are more concerned with aesthetic over branding, and make some money. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, give it a thumbs up. If you're watching still, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to help make money and engage with other entrepreneurs who are not bullshit artists, join the Facebook group. I'll put a link below. I'll see you guys later.